Okay, so 7:18 on the 14th, which is Saturday. And 7:18, that's my birthday. If that were to matter about anything. But really doesn't. It's just the day I was born. But because I believe that that is farce or ridiculous that they try and get us to age ourselves every year, like that has anything to do with our cycle. They put us on a different cycle and try and make it like it's our cycle. It's not our cycle. And just to warn you of a delivery that is going to be coming, it's been saying 8 stops, that I'm 8 stops away for a while, so I was just like, okay, I'm just going to start, but once they get here, it's going to be insanity. Because what's his name? Max is out in the other room, and he's the one who goes crazy. His hearing is off the chain, but it's so annoying because every little sound. But he will hear them pull up and make the delivery. They're all so it's so intense right now. I can't even tell you. My night last night was so motherfucking fucked. I am just, oh God, I am so burnt out. So and I did see the Schumann thing. I'll see if I can find that video to show it. But so when I went to bed, yesterday afternoon, the dogs were all snoozing away. And I was sitting here looking at TikToks or something, looking on my phone or something. And my eyes were just so tired. I was like, okay, I'm just going to go lay down and take a nap while they're sleeping. And so I think I maybe slept like a half hour, 45 minutes, maybe an hour, because there was a movie on and it was still going. I don't even remember what movie it was. Now Stella's on the movie. I swear to God, everything right now is so ridiculous. And so I'll be lucky to get through this without having to let somebody out. That's been my night, all motherfucking night. But so I went to sleep, and then when I woke up, it was like 4:08 or something like that. And then I thought, oh, I won't be able to go to sleep probably for a while. I feel kind of really awake. So just got up and did stuff, and then when they went to bed, I was sitting there looking at my phone or whatever I was doing, and I couldn't get to sleep, and so I kept trying to do stuff so I could go to sleep. I couldn't get to sleep. I'm looking at my phone and the time, and I keep trying to relax, and it's like 10:30 or something, and then I think I finally dozed off. And the only way that I knew I dozed off is because I kept being in these weird ass dreams. And then I get woke up. So as soon as I dozed off, I swear to God, I'm under attack because it is too absurd. So as soon as I dozed off, Ruthie gets up and she wants to go out to go to the bathroom. So she jolts me awake out of this weird ass dream I'm having. And I go over, let her out. And so that was like 10:30. And so then she goes lays back down. So I'm trying to go back to sleep, and the energy just feels super intense in my whole body. And so finally does off. She gets up again, wants to go out again, wakes me up again. Oh my God. So I go back after she gets done outside, go back, lay back down, try and go back to sleep. And then as soon as I doze off, and go right back into some weird ass dream, then Archie jumps up. He needs to go out. So get up again, go let him out, go lay back down, and then I don't remember who was next. Might have been Max. Then Max wanted out. After I don't think I had gone and laid back down yet. I think Archie was out going to the bathroom. Max was just over there drinking. And so then once Archie came in, I shut the door and stuff. Then Max comes over. Okay, now I'm going to go out. I was like, oh my God. So I let him out. Comes back in, lays down, and I go lay back down, start trying to go back to sleep. Fell back asleep because I woke up in a dream again. And Ruthie wanted back out. So I get up, let Ruthie back out, go back, lay back down. And then Stella wanted out. Then go let her out. Then Ruthie wanted back out. It was like every hour. That's why I know I wasn't asleep very long, because it would take me time to even lay there and get back to sleep. And as soon as I get back to sleep, then somebody jump up and want to go back out and jump and back and go back out. And it was like 10. Let's see if it was 4 with Ruthie, 4 or 5, because she went out again when Stella went out. And every time with Ruthie, because she's got the period diaper thing on. And I made the mistake again this morning of Stella was demanding to go out the other door. So I opened that door so she can go out. And I didn't even think about taking off Ruthie's. And of course she went out and pooped again. I was like, what is going on, man? And so it's disgusting when you have to try and get these diapers off. And the just like, God damn it. And so then one of the times I come back in, or it was around 4 o'clock in the morning. And so this is all happening between like 11 and 4. And it was Ruthie 4 times, and then each of the other dogs 1 time. And then I think that there was another time. So it was like 8 times of somebody needing to go to the bathroom. And the worst is when it's Ruthie, because I have to get her redressed again. And so then, and she doesn't just, oh God. And, so then I let that, what was I going to say? Oh, because then when I came back in and I felt something wet on my bed, and Max had puked all over my bed. So I lost my mind at that point. It was like 4 in the morning. I've lost my mind at this point now. I'm just fried. And so turn on the lights. I'm ranting and raving, trying to clean up this disgusting puke that I don't even know how to explain it. Because all he's eating is chicken, and I've been giving him a little bit of kibble because he can chew on those. And it was like somebody put the kibble through a meat grinder, and then it was all dried. I don't even know. Man, I don't even know. Jesus Christ. So then, so I'm washing the stuff from that right now. And then, so then I'm sitting there in my bed. It's like, there's no way I can get back to sleep. I mean, this is just some fucking fuckery. I felt totally under attack by some kind of something, some kind of energy out there. And so I'm sitting there for a while, and I'm like, I'm just going to go make a cup of tea. I can't do anything without a fucking escort. And so I go in there, and then they start with all their demands and stuff. And so I end up having to feed them all and do all that stuff. And then they all come in here. I go back in there to get another cup of tea just a little while ago. Max is diarrheaed all over the place. Man. So, and he's just laying in my chair in there. Just like, I don't even know, man. I'm just like, God, I just am so beyond burnt out right now. I can't even tell you. I'm just spent. So, one of the videos though I saw was about this, there was a comment right there. That's what I was looking at. And it just reminded me of a comment this morning that I had. Because yesterday I went out, letting them out, and they were going crazy out there barking. I could hear other dogs barking, and then a neighbor's driving. I'm not sure if they had their dog just running down the road barking. I don't know. It was so chaotic. Even yesterday morning, it was so chaotic. The sky looked all ruffly, and it had it was a crazy looking sky. And then this weird light at the bottom. It was like 9:30 in the morning, and then it was like this, I don't know. All I can say is there's different skies out there. And but so many people are just like, oh no, it's totally normal. And so anyways, it was super loud, and this dog kept barking and barking out there, and the roosters start going, and it's like the sounds echoing. There was like one after another of these huge geese flocks flying over us. There was so much honking. Even yesterday on my video, you could hear it because I could hear them. And then when I went out there, it was like, oh my God, there just keeps being one after another. And You know, I don't know if they're trying to get away from the weather, or because the weather's insane right now. And like there's about to be this huge blizzard, snowstorm, tornado snow now over on the Midwest, moving towards the East Coast. Over here, we're having a windstorm right now, and and then it's supposed to snow, or it's supposed to rain, but maybe snow. And it's supposed to be a cold front, but right now it feels warm, even though it's supposed to feel colder because of all the wind. And then next week we're supposed to be up in the 80s, and in Arizona it's supposed to be like in the hundreds. Like it's going to go into this crazy weather next week with it being really hot. And I don't know, it's all over the place. It's insane. And here's the thing on the weather.
If you're in the West, get ready because you're about to sizzle. We're talking about temperatures running 25 to 30 degrees above average for a huge chunk of the West. Temperatures are going to soar. We're talking mid-90s across much of the desert Southwest, even hitting the triple digits for places like Phoenix the middle part of next week. We're talking summer-like heat. It's going to feel more like midsummer than early spring. And we're also going to be breaking dozens of records. We could see record highs as well as record lows fall. And it's not out of the question to see some all-time March records broken. If you're in the West, get ready because
there's I'll show you the West or the Midwest one too. I wanted to find the Schumann thing. Oh, here's that lady who's always showing the map with the different sky thing.
Sunlight, like, hello, there is a perfectly curved edge clipping into the right-hand side of our sun, and what's happening? It is a planet called Isatum. It's one of the 8 planets in the binary solar system, and wow, that's actually undeniable. Obviously, there is a curved object cutting into the sunlight, causing it
when you
to
start
appear.
going out, she's got tons of videos. When you start going, because she's always following that guy who has that map situation, and he got his maps. I think it was through Visions. I can't remember now, but anyways, when you look at the sky, looking at it with that kind of eyes, then you see something different. And that's what I was going to say too, was so yesterday evening when I had let him out because it was going crazy again and the sounds are being so weird, and there was these big dark clouds over there, and the sun was supposed to be setting over there, but there was no sun. And then there was no sun all day yesterday. I don't think there was at all. It was just overcast. So there was no sunset, but there was these big dark clouds, and they were all outlined. They were like had these fluffy little ruffled things of bright orange, or like a pinkish fluorescent orange color. It was really weird looking. And I did a thing, and I don't know if it just doesn't show up as well on video, but somebody's like, what's weird about that? Shut the fuck up, man. If you think that's normal, then live your life, dude. Oh, this is weird.
Y'all probably ain't knowing this, but
look at that person.
Winfrey been around for a long time. This lady's been around since the 20s. She was in business before the Great Depression hit. She married a white man. He loved her so much he brought her up from down south and brought her up north where they could be together. He snuck up there.
Who knows if this is AI,
but couldn't nobody see her. They had blankets and all that kind of stuff over top of her. And they got up there in New York City. No, they got Chicago. And when they got Chicago, he had a hotel. He had bought some property and bought a piece in a hotel. And in that hotel, he just came up little by little, learned the business, and then he went out and bought another one. And when we bought that second one, he put Oprah in charge of it. And Oprah been running that thing.
Anyways, it talks about that she is from this picture's from the 20s, that she was married to some rich guy, and she's been around, and she's much older than what we think. But, if this is true, I already know that there's these vamps out there. She's just one. I mean, there's a whole bunch of these people. She's not the only one. There's a bunch of them. And so, anyways, I don't know if that's true, but there's a lot of disclosure stuff going on. There's lots of, there's just a lot of stuff going on. Yesterday, my feed was just eaten up with the thing about kids going no contact on their parents. It is totally flipping. I don't know if there was all these videos before and they just weren't in my algorithm, but boy, the energy has flipped. Oh my gosh. I'll talk about that in a second too. But the, I want to find that other weather one.
Providing them with wardrobes, hygiene.
I don't know where it went, but also the Schumann one. Because there was a good one on the Schumann thing. Because she was showing how it's been these huge whiteout things, and it's maxing out. Because it only goes to 50 or something. How is it that things just seem like they just disappear? I swear to God, everything just feels so weird right now. Oh, this was Spokane yesterday. Total snowstorm.
So
Came out of the blue.
Why are so many adults cutting off their parents right now? It's not just personal.
There's tons of these.
In a 2025 study, sociologist Rin Rexet found something wild. Family isn't automatic anymore. We're moving into an era of democratized kinship, where love is earned, not given. That means the parent doesn't match your emotional standards if they haven't evolved.
Psychiatrists have now
There's a whole bunch of
recognized
those
a
we'll talk
new
about, so.
personality type. You already know.
Next time someone tells you therapists have nothing to do with this estrangement epidemic,
Oh, this one was good too.
this video. You might want to save it.
Adult children cutting parents off is not a trend. Stop calling it that. The reality is these adult children have dealt with parents since childhood who were emotionally unavailable, toxic in a lot of ways, who were unable to meet their emotional needs.
Emotionally unavailable, toxic in a lot of ways, and not able to meet emotional needs. Doesn't that sound like what your children are saying about you? You're emotionally immature, you're toxic, you can't be who I want you to be. You're not fitting in that box that I want to put you in. Let's listen to some more, shall we?
But the parents were not able to provide what their children needed, and emotional trauma was a result of that.
So because the parent couldn't provide what their child needed, emotional trauma was the result. So how is a different parenting style emotional trauma when a parent is trying to raise their children to not live their life based on emotion?
They want parents who allow their adult children to communicate the hurt that they caused.
So adult children want to be able to communicate to the parent the hurt that the parent caused. Hurt, number one, is not the same as abuse. And number two, hurt is subjective. What hurts one person might not hurt another person. Because here's the thing, someone who knows how to be strong in themselves doesn't give power away to other people so that other people can hurt them. I cannot even, my mind is blown.
They want the parent to be able to own their mistakes, own the hurt, the pain that they caused.
Estranged children
Right.
want their parents to own their mistakes. Do parents make mistakes sometimes? Yes. But the fact that she's saying you have to own your mistakes, okay? Well, what were the mistakes? And what the child perceives as mistakes, were they really mistakes?
Ask their adult child what they need, what they can do to move forward to have a healthy relationship.
The estranged parent is supposed to ask their estranged child what they can do to move forward to have a healthy relationship. Well, first of all, this is actually then bowing down to the child and to their crazy mentality that they live in. And you know what? Parents aren't doing it because parents want to have emotionally mature children. And emotional maturity means standing on your own, not needing external validation.
They learn to have a voice, and that voice tells them to choose themselves. That is hard.
Oh,
This
it's
is almost time.
hard to choose yourself? No, it's not. Because Satan rules this world, and he wants all of us choosing self
I don't
and
believe
not
there's
him.
Satan in
And that
it.
is part
But
of the
evil
problem
does.
here. Actually, that is the whole problem.
We are still little children inside, and we want our parents to be the parents we need.
Bam! There you go. Adult children are still little children inside. Where do I even begin with this? Because when they're adults, they cannot act in a child role, requiring them to be parents while they are adults. It just doesn't make sense.
The best thing sometimes is to cut them off.
So if the parent can't be who the child wants them to be, discard them. The parent is acting from wisdom. The child is acting like a child. So the child is asking the parent to dumb down for the child. And if they don't, the parent gets discarded. That is exactly what is being said here. This is what we have out there on social media.
Find other ways and other people who can meet your needs.
Find other people to meet your emotional needs.
Don't
Cutting
learn how to meet your
parents
own.
off as an adult is not a trend, and stop saying that fucking shit.
She sounds a little triggered. So stop saying that. Oh my gosh. I need to know what.
Oh, there's tons of those. That's why I was saying, like, my algorithm was just crazy last night with all these. And there's another trend in it.
Security line, and this is how long it is.
Oh my god, in the airport security lines. Oh my god. I don't even think you could get through them in 3 or 4 hours. So many of these ones about
Okay, I want to
parenting.
talk to the parents out there whose kids
Oh,
decided to cut
this
them
is.
off.
I know
I'm
some of
talking about
y'all
parents who
aren't
really
going
cut
through
this
this,
up.
so.
All right, you guys know you know what you need to do. You have to go apologize. All right, it's just what you have to do. No, I want to talk to the parents out there whose kids have cut them off, even though you as parents have basically did the best you possibly can. Okay, that's where the growing epidemic is happening. It's not happening with like serious abuse. Here's the thing. Trauma is an overused word. Abuse is by far an overused word. And what you want to stop doing as a parent is buying into the language that your coddled, unappreciative, spoiled little kid is using against you during Thanksgiving or Christmas on why they continue to cut you off as if you did something wrong. Stop buying into their language of being abusive or oppressive when really you are just basically being a very good parent. Comb your hair, brush your teeth. Hey, Billy, why don't you go to the gym? Because you look kind of big. Okay, here's the thing. Most people who are under 30, anytime you challenge them, they immediately see it as, oh my gosh, my mom is abusing me. She's not abusing you. Okay, that's actually a sign that you're overly coddled. Do you actually want to know, for example, whether or not you have been traumatized? Are you ready for this? Do you know why I know most of you have not been traumatized? Because you talk about it all the time. Do you know what trauma does to the human brain? It shuts down the Broca's area. Do you know what the Broca's area is? It's the verbal processing part of your brain. So guess what happens when you actually have trauma? You don't talk about it on TikTok and you don't talk about it on Instagram. In fact, most people who have actually had, that I've actually had in my office, okay, who've actually been traumatized, I have to convince them that they have been traumatized. And the second thing is, they don't even know how to talk about it. Okay, so that just basically gets rid of about 95% of you who talk so much about how traumatized you are. Bullshit. You weren't traumatized. It's called stress. It's called having a relationship with somebody that's trying to raise your ass when you're being a jerk. Okay? Listen, parents, hear me out. Stop apologizing when you did the best you could. Stand up for yourself. Get a backbone. All right? Don't buy into this drama that you somehow abused or traumatized them when all you did All you did was the very best that you possibly could. Good for you. I'm proud of you. I am proud of you. You were a good parent. And just because your kid is a coddled narcissist who doesn't appreciate you, doesn't mean that you were a bad parent. You weren't. I'm proud of you. And don't let anybody tell you otherwise.
There's tons of these, tons. It's a big flip. I said the other day, I said the energy would flip. There's going to be so many things that will flip because for so long it was only seeing it from the kid's perspective. And now all of a sudden it's from the parent's perspective. But the thing is there is a huge trend, and now the parents, when the kid comes back, the parents don't want anything to do with them. And I think that is also just playing along in this whole thing. And there's all these excuses and all these reasons. But I think, you have to be open. You don't just cut them off. They went through something. And this, for me, this isn't my first time of having a kid go no contact. Because I've got 4 daughters. And they all had resentment towards one thing or another. And so I've gone through periods of times. And one of my daughters, she did it when my grandkids were really little. So I didn't get to see my grandkids during that period of time. And there's a whole thing about it too. Because I was thinking, that she kind of talked smack on me, to her kids, to everybody else for this period of time until, she got over her, I think more until she started seeing it from other perspectives of like how, it's easy to fail as a mom. It's easy to feel like you're always messing up because you don't know what the fuck you're doing. And then I had this epiphany where it was like, oh, see, when I was younger, I did the same thing. You're always going to experience things from other perspectives. So I was very judgmental towards my mom. And so then I've been very judged. And so anyways, but I have never put up roadblocks when I have been made to feel like, I'm a big fat failure and they don't want anything to do with me. Then when they come back, I, am open, but there's a whole bunch of, it's like this, I'm sure I'll find a video. I'll keep finding these videos, not the,
because you know what? The problem is, you'll come back and have to do it again.
Oh, I've talked about this before.
And that's one of the big things with the masters. Don't kill yourself because
this is something I've talked about before.
And they're going to make you come and do it again. Don't kill yourself because you know what? The problem is you'll come back and have to do it again. I've seen this over and over again, and that's one of the big things with the masters. Don't kill yourself because then you haven't learned and they're going to make you come and do it again.
I've said that a bunch of times. It just is like you aren't a repeat thing. There's just like one after another of this kid thing.
Welcome to another episode of Things the Strange Children Say.
So we're tracking some breaking news here. Looks like Iran launched their first major successful cyber attack.
And I don't know if this is true, but there is.
To the ones who cut off their parents, what made you decide that you were better off with? We live in a coward culture where blaming your mom is easier than fixing yourself.
So this is the main reason why you actually don't.
So this one is for the adult estranged kids.
See, here's where it went yesterday when I was all these videos were just coming through my thing. It was like, I was like, man, is this like all new videos or have these been around for a long time? It's so crazy how this big wave now of things flipping to the other side from the parents' perspective. And this one is some kid who tried to come back to a parent and the parent was like, no. So then it started this whole new conversation that I was getting in my algorithm. And there was a shorter one. That one's pretty long. Oh, this is sad too. This is in Asheville, a nursing home, and they are not feeding them proper. They're just, this guy talks about like what they're feeding them. He said, we're starving.
In case you're unaware, Elon Musk just announced a multi-billion-dollar tunnel that will be going from New York to London
I've talked about this before.
under the Atlantic Ocean, and I need everybody to understand that this tunnel is already there. This tunnel has been there forever. This is not
They
new.
use it. It's already used. They travel through it.
Why it is that when you make a video talking about how the elites and higher ups are worshiping Satan,
A lot of this too.
doing ritualistic sacrifices and just straight demonic shit and talking about demonic symbolism, that video goes viral and you get tons of algorithm support. Talk about how they have to do it and they have to put things right in our face because of karmic retribution, viral. Then you make a video talking about how they're not worshiping Satan and they don't worship the devil and the demonic symbolism is intentionally put in your face for other reasons. That video gets no views and the algorithm won't push that video. When the ones who are supposedly doing these satanic rituals are the ones who are in control of this app and the algorithm. Why would they intentionally be pushing the devil worshiping videos but suppressing the people who are saying they're not worshiping the devil? Any video
There's a bunch of people who do those videos that's talking about that. The videos that they say certain things that seem like that would be the information they don't want us to talk about, those videos are just going viral. And then the ones that they're talking about other things about, you know, well, maybe it's this, maybe it's that, then they aren't getting at all.
Did you guys know that Netanyahu graduated from high school
Oh, this is weird.
in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania? He went to Cheltenham High in 1967. Probably nothing.
It's kind of weird.
Did you guys know that Netanyahu graduated from high school in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania?
Like, I thought he was from the... There's so much weird stuff.
Hey, so for those of you estranged parents out there, I have a little food for thought for you. If the estranged kid comes from an unhealthy marriage or an unhealthy co-parenting relationship, they're not going to attach themselves to the loving parent. They're going to attach themselves to the parent they fear the most. Because fear trains the nervous system to constantly be chasing and seeking validation and approval. Approval from the parent that never approved of them. Knowing that the loving parent will still always be there. So with that in mind, maybe just give yourself a little bit of grace.
Parent-child estrangement has been quite
There's,
Estranged mom, regardless of what you're mad about. The truth is
they're the ones that they're saying that the parents, they've gone through all the loss. They tried to get in contact with them. They tried to do all this stuff and they met resistance and they had to grieve the relationship. And so they've gone through it, the loss, and they're over it. And then the kid decides to come back and the parent is really resistant because I guess they don't want to get hurt again or whatever. But really, you know, what you're here for is to heal your wounds, to really it's sever toxic ties. It's not just like sever ties, but it's toxic aspects of relationships. So you don't want to just be resistant and hold it out there and hold resentment now, because now you're starting a new cycle and that's not going to be productive. And so, you know, and like I said, I've gone through this before, and I just don't think it's productive, because this is the new trend now, is like, well, now the parent doesn't want anything to do with you. And so I would say, because I know there's some of you guys out there that don't fall for that, is what I would say. I mean, you got to do what feels right for you, but just know that there is, you know, that's just kind of playing games back. That's just being resentful and, you know, you hurt me, so now I can't risk being hurt, because that's basically what that kid's saying. You hurt me when I was a kid, and I don't trust you because you hurt me one time, or you hurt me several times, or you always hurt my feelings, or, you know, you know, the kid doesn't realize, you know, the kid, it just generally becomes the parent is very judged by the kid, but through a kid's perspective, so they don't really understand what the parent has gone through, so they're very judgmental towards the parent, and they're very, they have an ideal or an expectation of what the parent should be, and the parent doesn't meet that standard, so they hold it against the parent. And so once they grow up or grow over it or get over it, or go through things, because the world is there to get you to see things in a lot of different perspectives. And when it's working right, it should bring in more things to help you heal through your perspective, so that you're not just stuck. And then one thing too is they get stuck on the past. They're just held back in the past, and then they're kind of angry and bitter towards the parent, and then the parent gets their feelings hurt, and then the parent doesn't want to risk being around the kid. But really, your best thing is to just do your best of trying to heal the relationship. I wouldn't say turn around and do the same thing back. And that's, like I said, that's a new trend. And this is so common now. It was like a big thing, just like how that lady was showing. Like the counselors are out there telling them that that's the most healing thing, is to go no contact. Well, I've been saying for a long time, that is not going to heal you. That is caging you off. The healing is dealing with things. It's having boundaries, of letting go of things, gaining perspective, having more forgiveness, but having the ability to be able to look at your parent as being able to also be broken and not judge them on it. Let everybody be where they are at the time that they're there, and not be so hard on each other. And the parent needs to also learn to be more, we all need to, in all of our relationships, we need to learn to just not be so hard on each other. And so many ways I just couldn't believe, because right after I had seen that song, even though it's AI and stuff, it was still really calling out this whole movement over no contact. And it's such a trend, and there's so many people that are parents of adult children, that the adult children have cut them off, and so many of them do. They don't get to see their grandkids or anything, and then they're growing in their resentment, in their pain, and of not being around them, and then they have to at some point start fixing their life, going about their life, because they have no control over it. And then once the kid wants to come back, then it's like, well, now you want to come back and interfere in my life when I got my shit together, because I wanted to have a relationship with you and you didn't want to have anything to do with me. And so it's just, that's a cycle that'll just keep going back and forth and back and forth. And so I say, every single opportunity of any of this stuff is to try and figure out how to work on it or fix it. Don't leave it. Is these hot spots, because that is going to keep you trapped. Oh, this was good, because I had seen a lot of people talking about this JFK movie or documentary series or whatever it is. And so there's a scene that a bunch of people were talking about. And so she's going to talk about this scene. And she's telling her husband about it. I can't believe I cannot find the weather thing, or if I didn't go back far enough. But
some sources like from the Kennedy family are saying it's just like a dramatization. It's fiction. Sure. JFK Jr. launched the magazine George. Some people speculated that it was named George after George Washington, but others speculated, allegedly, George Bush Sr. Now, it's very hard to trace this connection, but allegedly he was in the CIA during the time of the assassination of JFK. Connections are that JFK Jr.
I don't know. I think I better skip on some of that part, because there still is a lot of, censorship. But okay, so this scene right here, they come pulling up in their car.
Just watch. Okay.
This guy right here standing there.
Oh my goodness.
So, in the picture, then it's the same profile as JFK Jr. And so all these people, and the way he stands with his hands in his pockets and stuff. So now all these people are like, that's really him. And so she goes through and says, that there's, conspiracy that he's still alive and all that stuff, which, a lot of us that were following that letter, that has been a thing the whole time. And so they ask the chat, GPT, whoever, they all Grok or whoever, that who played this part, and he says it's really him. And so she says that he was going to be running up against Hillary for the Senate, and then so he faked his own thing, but really it was from what I heard, Hillary had put out a hit on him, and so he had to move out of that. He had to do himself in order to get away from her. And so I think ever since then he's been on this because this whole operation has been going for a really long time. It's not just like, it didn't just start with Donald. They pulled Donald in, and he is friends with Junior. So anyways, so there's speculation that that's really him in the movie. And so, and this is the disclosure part. This is where they're bringing these people back into our reality through these kind of situations. So I don't know, I haven't. I think that show's on Netflix. I haven't watched it, but it is so weird. Oh no, that's still the weather here. No, that's something else too. That is so weird. Because I saw the Schumann thing. Maybe I sent it to.
I want to tell you a story, so please don't scroll. And I want to explain to you why these distractions matter right now and
She
why they're
talks
happening.
about
okay?
that kind of stuff too.
Follow me.
Of Oh, here's the weather.
So we're
one.
tracking some breaking news here. Looks like
No,
Iran launched
that's not the weather one either. That is so weird. It's like it just disappeared. And the Schumann thing. Well, anyways, on the Schumann thing, how they monitor, how they read it or something, it goes up to 50 megahertz or something. I'm not even really sure. But they said it's topping the chart, that it can't go any higher on their thing. And then it's having these big whiteout things. And they said it's been having these big whiteouts for like a week, which I don't know. I had just seen it the other day that they were showing that. But that is what's causing this extreme energy, this extreme, like, I don't know, lots of people having different things. This one lady was saying that it can be making you have like no energy, or it can making you have too much energy. And so I think it's part of like the feeling of the anxiety, like the super anxious feeling. I for sure feel like it's part of the not being able to sleep, even with the dogs, as they said that the dogs are being infected by it and stuff. So whatever, all of the energy right now on the planet could be making you feel even more intense. And that kind of also is a part of the trying to gain control over your emotions with all this really crazy stuff going on, especially if you've got, because tons of people, like that was such a big thing that happened after 2020. As soon as people started disagreeing about things, and the divide began to be created, and then it was like cut people out of your lives, and people who vote for this way or that way are wrong and stuff. And you know what? Something I was thinking about this morning is because it's so much chaos. But all of those different things, those are all things for you to get over. None of it is by accident. And you got to think about that it's also associated with other past lives that you've had and with the people. And that's why, when the people trap themselves in their emotional state, not try and heal past it and get over things, then they hold themselves trapped. And they hold themselves trapped in a vibration that you don't want to be trapped in, because not very many people want to stay here. You know, it's very misleading for these, this subculture kind of agenda narrative thing that was a healing thing to do, cut people off. You're not going to heal cutting people off. That is just cutting people off. The people who are around you that trigger you are the people who are here to help you heal. And so you're cutting off the people who are really here to help you heal. And it's not them doing the work for you. It's you being triggered and then going deeper into your triggers to release the things that are associated with the trigger. So it all goes together, but that was a part of the kind of narrative to keep people distant from one another so that they would become in isolation and that they wouldn't deal with their stuff, because that's one of the ways to trap you in the lower vibration so that you can't go home. You can't get to a higher vibration. You're still stuck in the vibration of this reality. And so it's part of their plan. I think even to keep having all of this really horrific stuff being brought up, it creates so much sadness and all of that stuff in people that also fear and sadness and anger and bitterness keeps you trapped in their world. And so you want to break free from all that. Forgiveness is such a huge thing. And so it's really important to get out of the fear. So it's really important to focus on your forgiveness and letting things go. And that doesn't mean that you like, oh, well, I accept this or whatever. I mean, you can feel like, I've been treated bad here or there, and, acknowledge what you have gone through to yourself, but you don't have to hold resentment to others, because I think a big part of it is to start realizing that the people who hurt you don't hurt you on purpose. They do it out of their own inability to be able to do something different. So they're not trying to hurt you. It's not intentional. Where this started becoming intentional, like the people, I'm going to cut you out of my life because I want to hurt you. And then they come back, and then these people, I want to hurt you back. So I'm going to cut you out of my life. And it's just pattern that just keeps trying to hurt each other back and forth for the pain that they feel. And it's like any of the pain that we feel, we just need to process through it and know that it's associated with past lives and stuff. And so when you go in the direction of healing yourself, then you are letting go of the things that hold you and bind you to this vibration, this reality, and or this spectrum of frequency, where the dark things, the place where we feel sad and we feel, just this darkness, where most of us feel like we just want out of here. And then also, so there's supposed to be, so the guy who has been, I don't know what his name is. I don't know why Chris Bledsoe is coming to my mind, but I don't know if that's his name. And I had just seen a video about that. It's like a whole bunch of videos of just disappeared or something. Or maybe I didn't like them. I thought I liked them. But there's one about this, on the 16th, they're supposed, maybe it's this lady was saying it. I want to tell you a story,
so please don't scroll. On
this
Passover of this year, on Easter of 2026, when the sun rises in the east, on the Sphinx, there will be a new knowledge. When the sun hits this red thing on the Sphinx, it's something you can learn if you go. He explains it better, but it is to the point where
this is the guy. This is who I'm talking about. She's talking about
I
him.
have been on this app since the inception. My original account that I had for 6+ years was banned and deleted last September, the day after Charlie Kirk was assassinated, because I made a video telling people that I thought we were being punked, and that I'm an open-minded person that believes all things are possible. I also am a very, very rooted Christian, rooted woman of faith. I love God Almighty with every fiber of my being, and I rely on Him, and I have been deprogramming myself for the last 6 years. If you don't know who Chris Bledsoe is...
Oh, it is Chris Bledsoe.
You need to go search for him on YouTube. Chris Bledsoe is somebody that has had alien contact and contact with what he calls angels for decades. It is so profound that the government has been involved with following him. They have seen this. The angel that comes to see him, which he calls an angel, which is a entity in white, a very bright colored entity. Oh, he calls her the lady. There's podcasts all over YouTube. Chris Bledsoe says that the lady told him that on Passover of this year, on Easter of 2026, when the sun rises in the east, on the Sphinx, there will be a new knowledge. When the sun hits this red
I hope.
thing
God, I hope
on
we're
the
that
Sphinx,
close.
it's something you can learn if you go. He explains it better.
I hope we're that close, man. I swear to God, this just drags. They're supposed to. I saw something about the X and the R and the P that they are saying by the end of this month they're all going to be really rich. There's a bunch of stuff going on. It just drags, man. But there was
And ticks and
as somebody who's talking about that they had found she got diagnosed with early onset Parkinson's when she was 37, and she was seeing somebody who was a friend, a doctor and stuff, but they are kind of they can't do certain things, and she started finding out that they aren't really here to save us. And so she had to start doing research and stuff, and doctors were like, I'd like to help you, but I can't. It's like they could lose their license or something if they do certain things. And so she found out some interesting stuff about sickness because it's all created.
that is quite
anyways, there is let's see, because today's the 14th, so there's supposed to be things on the 16th. Yesterday was supposed to be some stuff that was supposed to happen. Nothing happened here, nothing big that I know of, but I'm sure there was things happening. The 16th is supposed to be some big day again. Then towards the end of the month is supposed to be some big stuff. And then so then if the Sphinx, this light thing comes across the Sphinx or whatever, and that goes across its third eye or whatever, if that's supposed to be something is going to bring in the enlightenment of everybody to start seeing the truth and understanding the world in a more spiritual perspective, because that's the whole thing. And I think that's kind of why they want to keep people trapped and focused on these, you know, the rituals and all this sick stuff, is because anything that they can keep you trapped in, you're not doing the work on yourself. And it's super important to do the work on yourself, because the people who haven't been working on themselves, it's going to hit them way harder. It's going to seem kind of like hard to overcome all the energy they're going to be hit with, because it's going to be like they're hit with all these things at once, and it's going to be more than they can deal with, because they're going to see things so much more clearly, and it's going to be the opposite of how they see things now. And that's the thing. And I was trying to tell my daughter that when she was here the other day. But you can't get people to understand what they can't understand. You can't get them to understand something that isn't, that it's like they're not meant to understand it yet. They're meant to be more affected. Because when you try and say, like, no, you can think this or that right now, but suddenly everything's going to flip, and you're going to see something that you hadn't seen before. It's going to change your perspective. It's going to be this huge rush of enlightenment, of seeing things that you hadn't seen, and it's going to flip your perspective, because you're going to see a whole other side of things. And so we're watching as all these people are seeing one side, and they're going deep on they're going deep in emotionally into this one perspective. And so when things flip, and it's going to, and plus we're going little by little, like if that's really is Junior in the show, to try and bring it back so that we start seeing I mean, who knows what the thing is going to be? There's got to be something that's going to be the thing that gets people to see. Because I would say, I don't know. I mean, the energy is very significant. You know, but I would also say that there's going to be things happening, like things in the news or certain people. Like there's a whole thing right now on Elvis. Like there's so many videos I saw yesterday about the pastor, whatever his name is, Bob. Is it Bob Baker? Bob something. And there's more videos and when people keep doing these videos, it's like, I don't know what to believe on some of this stuff. Like, are they just making it up? Just like the Oprah thing. Like, is that made up or is that real? And the only thing I can say is anything is possible. And so to just be like, well, no, there's no way. That's made up. It's like, well, just like the dolphin thing. The dolphin thing has got so many people freaked out. Now they're coming in and saying, no, it's not true. And then other people are coming in and saying, yes, it is true. The government's trying to hide it. That the guy really was kidnapped by the dolphins. And he really was breathing underwater. And he really was down there. And they really were having him do things. So I have no idea. I mean, anything. I think the best thing to come at all this stuff is anything's possible. Just anything is possible. But the, let me think what it was I was looking for now. It was, because I was seeing lots, the Elvis thing. Because it was saying that he used to have like another character that he would kind of be incognito, and that was the same name he would use. And then there's a whole bunch of ties. Like even the girlfriend Elvis had at the time, she's married to this guy. And the kids, his kids look exactly like Elvis. And the, and one of them, I don't know if he's an Elvis impersonator or whatever, but he definitely plays up looking like Elvis. And maybe the other one is the Elvis impersonator, but he doesn't look as much like him. But they have these big, strong ties. Then one of them, like, is over the estate of Elvis. Like, what in the world? Like, there's way too much stuff where it's like, I think that guy, I think Elvis, here's one. Elvis faked his death.
Shocking discovery. Elvis Presley signed the name Bob Joyce on a poster from the 1960s. This means that Elvis had a connection to the name Bob Joyce while he was still alive, seemingly confirming the speculation about the relationship between Bob and Elvis. First, Elvis's loyal fans know that he expressed a strong liking for the name Bob and would privately use Bob Joyce as an alias. Secondly, their appearances are strikingly similar. Thirdly, both possess extraordinary musical talent and share a love for the guitar and piano. Watching Bob passionately sing in church easily brings to mind the image of the rock king shining on stage in his prime. Fourth, anatomists have compared the body proportions of Elvis and Bob, discovering that their body proportions and bone structures are identical. Additionally, many fans have visited Bob's church in Arkansas and expressed their certainty that Bob and Elvis are indeed the same person. So, did Elvis really fake his death to assume a new identity and return to a peaceful, ordinary life after being a rock legend? What a shocking discovery.
There was more than just that one, because I yesterday I got on the algorithm of
is the never-ending story, back to back.
Oh, this guy is saying detoxing now is like got to be a weekly or daily thing. It's just we got way too much
What is going on?
Toxins. There's so many funny things on the dolphin thing. I'm kidnapping him. There's a whole bunch of funny videos on that. Oh, this is in Iran. All of these ships.
So I actually healed my. If you could see a man's dick.
But there is a whole bunch of ones on the Elvis thing talking about the person he's married. I thought I could find that one too. The person he is married to, and the person who his wife is. I mean, the person he's married to, but his kids and stuff. This one too.
this picture was
This-
taken in the 1940s.
this is
He was a
trippy.
Muskogee man. He lived to be 110 years old. He was a survivor of the Trail of Tears, and I'm going to read you his telling of events and what happened. The following is his recollection.
It's kind of long. I mean, where am I at? I could kind of play it, but basically, them going in and attacking these tribes, and then the horrific things they did to lead them to where they were taking them. It's horrible. It's really horrible. And this was a kid when it was happening, but it happened in the 40s. So they've been lying to us. I mean, we know they've been lying to us about everything. But yeah, this guy tells about the whole journey and what he witnessed in his diary. And he said that all the babies, that as they would be walking, they had them all walking, they would be doing horrible things to the men and stuff like that. And all of the little babies, they hit him up against a tree. And I'll let you listen to a little of it.
One morning, when it was already getting cold, a runner came to our village out of breath, saying haltingly, "Talking papers. They are sending people with talking papers. People are already disappearing. What's left behind is being stolen. They are sending us to a burial ground. They keep talking about Judgment Day. We need to either hide or mix with other tribes up north. These demons are shooting Indians if we resist. I have to warn the next village." He left, and even though I was just a boy, I knew that something very bad was about to happen. A dark cloud hovered over us. I don't know how many days went by. We started gathering provisions. We talked about other tribal towns. The earth trembled, and even the trees seemed to be shaken. The hovering dark cloud brought the evil men sooner than we expected. The soldiers started shooting. The whites rounded us up like cattle and put shackles on the strong men. There was a silent cry, no words, so devastating, silent prayers, then low humming of the chant of communal encouragement. Gun butts were hitting mouths. That morning, cold winds blew like Judgment Day. We did not know where we were heading. There were talking papers, more talking papers. The whites kept on bringing up talking papers, and tragedy always followed. Along the trail, they split us up. I lost my mother and father and ended up with an uncle. Little babies would sometimes have their heads smashed against a tree. Strong, shackled men were used for pulling wagons and chopping wood. Those who got sick were left or dumped by soldiers. There was hardly any food. People were hungry, cold, and frostbitten. The whites roasted meat, and the aroma made you want to die. Each time someone fell, they sacrificed, saying, "Take my blanket. I am going home." The chilling wind never left us. We have seen blizzards, now we were in one. Even a strong buffalo would not have survived such a winter. Somehow the Creator was with us. Most of the time children walked. However, sometimes they would be allowed to ride in a wagon with the older folks. About the time we reached Indian Territory, there were very few of us, mostly older children and shackled men. After our walk, there were no more babies left. They killed all the babies. Hardly any women made it. I only had one uncle left. We began with about 500 in our group, and we wound up with 50. We ended up near Greenleaf, the place where we finished growing up. It took 20 years for the nightmares to lessen. I want to remind y'all that this photo was taken in the 1940s. That's whenever a lot of our grandparents were being born. They try to make it seem like this was so long ago, but it wasn't. The legacy of forced removal and displacement leaves an impact on indigenous communities far and wide today.
So he wasn't, because he's older in this picture, and when this happened, he was a kid. So this picture's in the 40s. So it didn't happen in the 40s. So it happened when he was a kid, though. And if he lived to be 110, but still, you know, they made like that this happened 200 years ago, 250 years ago. But it seems that it happened more like, if it was in the 40s, that it was, he was old, I don't know, in the late 1800s or something, where they were brutalizing all these tribes and taking their land from them. So, I don't know. This whole place has just been all about murder, you know, taking land and killing people and stuff. And that's what I was talking about a couple weeks ago. Is like this whole place has just been based on so much vile brutality. And this was the thing I was going to say because they're about to go. The chosen ones. I was thinking about this morning. And really, when you think back, because I've seen a few videos of people being like, this thing that's about to happen and things that are happening are like out of the biblical, what is that, prophecy and stuff. And so they're all planning on Jesus coming to get them. They're leaving and they're going home and they're all excited about going home. And all of a sudden it just hit me. And it was like, oh, the ones that are staying, the chosen ones, the ones that are here to heal and to become the creators of the new world, they are really the ones that are staying after the party to clean it up. So if you've ever seen one of those old movie where there was a giant party and there was a big mess and somebody had to clean it up, that's basically the humans are leaving a giant mess, and the people who have stayed to clean it up and rebuild this world, I would say those ones, you know, if you want to look at the chosen ones, are not just here because, you know, they're but I just don't look at it as like, you know, God's choosing, you know, his favorites to say, hey, come down here and do this because you're so perfect. It's, but when you want to think about, well, what is the role of the chosen ones? Because there's definitely a role of the people who are going to be here to clean up the aftermath, that are here to learn from all of the troubles and to take that energy forward and to begin to create the new world. So that to me is, you know, that's the divide kind of who's here to create the new world and who's here to just, it's completed whatever they've come to complete. And so there's, the new world is, you know, for a lot of us, it's the focus, but there is going to be a big, you know, kind of a big mess to clean up. Because a lot of people are just leaving it messy. It's like they came here, they had their fun, they did their thing, and now they're just leaving. And there's an emotional mess. There's a lot of stuff that is, you know, it's like leaving the party and leaving the mess behind. But somebody's got to clean it up. So, yeah, that's to me the two separations. But here they go. Here comes the... So it took an hour for the 8 stops. So anyways, here comes my delivery. So just remember, because I'm telling you, the most important thing is focus on yourself. Learning how to love yourself and accept everybody. If you're going to learn to love yourself, you got to learn to love everybody. You got to accept yourself. You got to accept everybody else. Because what you want is acceptance. You got to put it out there. So whatever you want, you got to put it out there. And learn how to navigate and negotiate your emotions throughout all of this stuff happening. Don't just surrender them. Don't just be a product of emotional disaster. You know, pull yourself together. And what is it? Who is it you want to be? What kind of person do you want to be? And go towards it. So anyways, we'll see what goes on today. And we'll talk about it tomorrow. So I'll talk to you later. Bye.